Good morning. Wanted to share with y'all the beginning of our ideas on creating box and whisker plots. Okay, so you have some notes in your notebook that look like this. And we're going to first talk about why on earth do they call it something so weird. A box and whisker plot, or sometimes just people call them box plot, is a data display. It's a way to display data. You've seen circle graphs and histograms, and there's a whole bunch, and we'll even go through a few extra in class. But this one is really specific in giving data, using data, and so that's why I chose this one to be the display that we look at. Okay. It's organized into 4 sections. So it has a whisker. Okay. And this is going to be the first quartile. Okay. It has a box, and that's going to be the second and third quartiles. And then it has another whisker, and that's the fourth quartile. Okay. And there's 5 data values that break these up into groups of data. Okay. So you could consider the box to be the normal range, and then you would consider these to be kind of more the outliers, the whiskers. And the longer the whisker is, the more it's an outlier. Okay. And this is a way we can see if data is kind of all squinched together or whether it's stretched out really far. So let's take a look. Okay. The 5 values, and you're going to have to do these for every one of these problems. The 5 values are going to be the minimum value, the smallest, or least. Okay. The lower quartile is the median of the lower half. And I'm going to demonstrate that. But what you're going to see is we're just going to find a bunch of medians. Okay. The median is the middle value when least to greatest. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Just like we always find the median, nothing changed. Upper quartile is going to be the median of the upper half and the maximum value is the largest or greatest. Okay? So we're really putting numbers in order and then breaking them into sections, into groups. Okay? Now, this word quartiles is new. Quartiles are the 4 sections. I hope you're writing this down. Now look, quart, like a quarter, the 4 sections. So that's where that comes from. That make up the box plot. Okay. Each quartile represents 25% of the data. we're breaking it into 4 sections. Okay? So this is what we refer to as the middle half. And it's what we would consider to be, oops, let me fix that for you, I'm sorry. This is the middle half, and this is what we would consider to be normal. Okay, average when we're looking at statistics. So this part is the first quarter, okay? And then we have another quarter represented by the first part of the box. We have another quarter representing the second part of the box. And then we have another quarter representing the other whisker, okay? Now, there's a very special range that comes out of box and whisker plots. You guys know that range is just the difference between the maximum and the minimum. It's just a subtraction problem. The interquartile range is the range between the upper and lower quartiles okay, or length of the box. Now, since we have all these handouts and pictures and things to work with, let's demonstrate that with a little color. Okay, so interquartile range, and you get to abbreviate it as IQR because people got tired of writing out that big word, is the range from here to here. It's the range of normal. Okay, so that way, if we have outliers or some weird pieces of data, we can look at where's my middle 50%, because that's usually a good expectation. Now, let's try one. We're going to try 2, and then I'm going to have you try 1. Okay, so all we're going to focus on today is drawing them. How can you create these? The first thing you have to do is put the data in order, least to greatest. Okay, so we have 9 pieces of data. They were nice and told us. And we're just going to put this in order, least to greatest. 5, 8, 10, 12, 14, and notice I just keep track as I'm going. 18, 21, 27, and 30. Okay, so all I'm doing is finding least to greatest. Okay. Now, I typically will just underline my minimum and maximum. So there's your minimum, 5. There's your maximum, 30. Okay. Median is the same. We've done median. There's 9 data points. So there's 4. And there's 4. So here's your median. Okay. None of that is new. Here's the part that's new. When you're finding the lower quartile and the upper quartile, you can't use the median. You have to exclude it. Okay? So you're going to take these numbers, but not the median. These numbers, but not the median. And then you're going to find the median of this. So between 8 and 10, it would be 9. Between 21 and 27, okay, that would be 24. I hope that makes sense as far as how we find those medians. Okay, so my lower quartile is 9. My upper quartile is 24. Okay, and before we do the range and the IQR, I want to draw this. Now, they gave us a limited number line. So I'm going to go ahead and count by twos just because we have a pretty big range and a pretty small number line. Okay, so 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and please label yours. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. See, barely fit. Now I want you to put some dots above the line. Don't put them on the number line. Put them just above. So 5 would be here. That's your minimum. Your lower quartile is 9. Put a dot there. Your median is 14. Put a dot there. Your upper quartile is 24. Put a dot there. Your maximum is 30. Put a dot there. So you have 5 dots that match your 5 pieces of information. Okay. Now here's what makes it the box and whisker plot. We literally draw a line and make a box out of those middle 3 values. And notice my box isn't perfect, it's hand drawn. Okay, and then the whiskers connect the other 2. Okay, that's how you create a box and whisker plot. So the last thing it's asking us for is range and IQR. Okay? Range would be your maximum minus your minimum. You already knew how to do range. But your IQR, or inner quartile range, remember, it's only representing this box. So it's 24 minus 9. Okay? Or 15. Range is the whole thing. Remember, IQR is just the box. Okay. So at this point, you've been copying and writing things down. Please pause me or rewind me if you need to catch up. And I want to do one with you, okay, from scratch, not on here. So I'm going to go to a work paper. Okay, I'm just leaning over and getting work paper. This can be done in the work paper in your notebook. And I'm going to give you some data. Okay, speeds of 11 cars. Okay, so we're talking about the speeds of some cars. And I'm going to move this up so I can write better for you. Now, I'm given the data in whatever order. I'm going to give it to you least to greatest just to save a little time. So we have a car going 64 miles an hour, 65, 66, 67, 68. These are some very well-behaved people. 70, another 70, 71, 73, 75, 78. So we're out on Highway 65, and these are the cars we observe. This is the data we've collected. Okay, make sure you write that down. Pause me if you need to. Minimum, maximum, median, here's my median. Okay, if that's my median, then remember, my upper and lower halves cannot include the median. They don't include that guy. So there's the middle of my lower half. There's the middle of my upper half. So now we need to think about, do we have 5 pieces of data? Because that's what you're going to be asked for on homework and tests and quizzes. Okay, minimum, 64. First quartile, 66. Median, 70. Okay, you guys might be hearing yourselves next door right now. Okay. Third quartile, 73. And maximum, I'm going to run out of paper, 78. So there's your 5 pieces of data just from this list of number. Now, how do we use that to create a box plot? Well, I know my lowest is 64 and my highest is 78. So maybe I can make a number line that goes from, like, say, 60 to 80. Okay. So I'm just going to draw a straight line-ish. Notice it's not perfect. Okay. And I'm going to put 60 here. Okay. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Now, it will take you some time to get practice. I've been making number lines for a long time. Do not worry about if it looks perfect. Okay? And I counted by ones, but I only labeled where I needed to. Now, my minimum is 64, so I'm going to put a dot there. And line paper is great for this because it gives you a spot. Okay? First quartile is 66. I'm going to put a dot there. Median is 70. I'm going to put a dot there. Third quartile is 73. I'm going to put a dot there. And my maximum is 78. I'm going to put a dot there. Then I can draw my whiskers. And then I draw a box. And I always just kind of draw a center support in the box that shows the median. That's it. You found your pieces of data and you created a box plot. Now here's what I'm going to ask you to do. This is the assignment part of our lesson. These are what would be the try problems. Okay? On your homework paper, and you don't have homework, or this is the same paper you're going to use for homework later. I just want you to do number 1. So you have this handout, and it's linked on your weekly agenda if you don't. I want you to do number 1. Make sure that you come to class with this drawn in, and you have all of these numbers, minimum, lower quartile, all of these numbers. And I will check when you come to class again. So proud of you.